Hi, I'm Dr. Kauffman, and today we're shooting from inside my car because I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to prevent pain when you're doing a road trip. We're coming up on spring break and soon enough summer travel, so we want to make sure that your road trips are pain-free. Our first tip is to make sure that your seat is aligned properly so it's most like an armchair. So when you're sitting in an armchair, you see that your hip and your knee are at the same height. Your hip is 90 degrees from your back and your knee is 90 degrees from your hip, and everything's in good alignment with your arms out to the side on the armrest. For your seat alignment in your car, you can use your seat adjusters on the side, which is usually 2 or 3 buttons. And so for this car, I can move it up and back this way. I can change the pitch of the seat, and I can change the recline of the seat. So again, we want to make sure this is as close to an armchair as possible. So we don't want you tipped forward too much this way. We don't want you reclined too much back the other way. We want to make sure that everything is aligned as much as we can, just like an armchair. So just like when you're sitting in an armchair, you want your legs straight ahead. You don't want to allow your hips to get lazy and go out to the sides this way. And if your hands are on the wheel, you want to make sure that they're even across the wheel. You don't want to be leaning on one armrest or leaning on the other armrest. Again, we want to have you straight forward. For our second tip, we're going to talk about the lumbar support. So some cars are built in with a lumbar support in the seat. And like in this car, it has an adjuster where you can move the lumbar support this way and that way. But unfortunately, in this car, you can't move it up or down. So if you're a taller person, ideally there'd be another button that you can move the lumbar support up, and if you're shorter, you can move it down. So if you're going to use your lumbar support, you want to make sure it's in the right position, which should be right in the middle of your lower back, right in the small of your back. So if it's too low, it could cause more lower back pain, and if it's too high, it's going to push you forward, and that's going to cause more upper back pain and tension, neck pain, or headaches. Our third tip is to make sure you're taking frequent breaks. So if you happen to be going on a 6-hour car trip, we want to make sure that you're stopping about 3 times during that. So you're taking frequent breaks, but they don't have to be long, just long enough that you can walk around your car a couple times and stretch out. For our fourth tip, we want to go back to the seat adjusters. So again, we want to start in that good armchair position. But if you're in the car for several hours, we'd like you to use those seat adjusters a couple times and move your seat up or back just a half an inch or so. Move your recline up or back just a little bit, just to give your muscles and your joints a different angle. For our last tip, we want to make sure that your headrest is at the right height. So if you're a taller person, you want to adjust that headrest up so that the middle of the back of your head is reaching the middle of the headrest. If you're shorter, you can move it down a little bit. However, the most important thing for your headrest height is to make sure that your head isn't going to go up and over the headrest if you happen to be in an accident. So if you happen to get rear-ended, or you happen to hit somebody in front of you and your head comes back and it goes up and over the headrest, that's one of the most dangerous things that can happen in a car accident. I hope you liked our video today, and if you did and you want some more tips, go to our blog, which is on a link in the comments below.